nanti ya. Okay, now kita tengok section 400, part 4A. Kita ada 4A and 4B. 4A dia fokus on the independent for audit and review engagement. Review engagement meaning that sometimes the auditor might conduct ataupun might provide other services, okay. So dalam section 4A, part 4A, kita akan cover section 400 and section 500. Dan dalam part 4B, kita akan cover section 600, okay. This ada, 4A, dalam 4A juga kita akan cover section 600, okay. So, these are the relevant section yang kita akan cover. Concept independence, fees, gift and hospitality, and so on, okay. Sampai subsection 606, providing IT services to our client. Okay, this one I skip dulu ya kelas. Okay, now look at section 400. Section 400 they mention about conceptual framework to independence. The auditor should be independent when they conduct the audit and when they do the review engagement. Okay, so basically independent adalah important concept lah dalam audit. Kalau kita nak compare audit and other professional services. Okay, jom baca sekejap ya kelas. I nak kena reply WhatsApp daripada office sekejap. Important concept in auditing lah. If we compare audit and other sector ataupun other professional body, we have to be meaning that the other professional body, they do not concern so much about the independent concept, okay. Independent concept memang digunakan oleh in our line saja. For example, kalau you in other professional body, for example like in medical line, okay, ataupun law, engineering, architect, okay, they do not apply the independent concept, okay. Tetapi in auditing line, kita kena apply the independent concept when we conduct the audit, okay. Apa maksud independent? Independent meaning that you have to be independent, meaning that you kena ada integrity, objectivity, okay. You have to be very objective when you conduct the audit. Nobody be able to influence you. You tak boleh bias. Or all this one we call it as the independent, okay. Basically independent, kita ada two types of independent. Number one kita panggil as independent in mind, and the second one adalah independent in appearance, okay. Independent in mind adalah it's you yourself, okay. You yourself, meaning that when we say independent in mind, meaning that you be able to maintain unbiased attitude. Okay, you yourself bila you conduct the audit, you need to be independent. Orang lain tak nampak ya sama ada you are independent or not. Tetapi you yourself, you kena be independent when you conduct the audit. Okay, meaning that bila nobody, okay, you bila you conduct the audit, tak ada orang boleh influence you to make the decision. Ataupun you are not biased when you make the decision. Ataupun dalam bahasa yang mudah kita panggil that you be able to maintain unbiased attitude throughout the audit. Sepanjang-panjang you buat kerja audit, you be able to maintain unbiased attitude, okay. So nobody can be able to influence you when you make the decision, ataupun when you make the decision, you need to use your professional judgment, okay. So bila kita kata independent of mind, in meaning that when you conduct the audit, you have to maintain high integrity. You have to be very objective when we conduct the audit. Then we also need to apply the professional skepticism. Okay? Pernah dengar tak perkataan professional skepticism, kelas?
Pernah.
Apa maksud professional skepticism? Dalam audit penting ya konsep of professional skepticism.
Macam dia nak tanya sesuatu.
Louder please, tak dengar.
Macam nak tanya something.
Macam bukan nak tanya something, macam you cannot trust 100% on whatever information provided by your client. Betul tak kelas? you need to clarify it. Okay, you mesti ada rasa ragu-ragu on some of the information. Okay, you tak boleh macam bila you dapat some information from your client, you cannot trust 100% ataupun you cannot rely 100% on that information. Okay, we still need to verify it by using other audit procedures. Okay, for the example, katakanlah bahawa you get the information daripada your client, okay, then client provide you all the report and so on, and then you need to do other audit procedures to verify sama ada the information is betul ke tak, okay. For the example, macam mana you nak verify it, you can do the physical sighting, okay, ataupun you can get the confirmation from the third party, ataupun you boleh tengok other external documentation, okay. Meaning that you tak boleh nak rely 100% daripada klien. Katakanlah bahawa klien tu bagi information kat you, oh okay, we get this information daripada klien and then we rely solely on that information, okay. So that one we call it as the professional skepticism. Always cuba dapatkan, because kadang-kadang bila you nak dapatkan one evidence, there are a few methods for you to get the evidence. Sama ada internally daripada internal ataupun you can get it from the external sources, okay. Faham ya kelas ya? Okay, perkataan professional skepticism ni kita akan guna banyak kali later on. So I nak you faham the meaning of professional skepticism, okay. Okay, that one adalah satu independent of mind. Another one adalah the auditor also need to be independent in appearance, okay. Apa maksud independent in appearance adalah is more on the third party perception ataupun how the third party or public look at you. Sama ada you are independent or you are not independent, okay. So basically bila kita kata independent in appearance adalah you tak boleh too close dengan your client. You tak boleh ada close relationship, blood relationship, okay. Ataupun you tak boleh buat some activities with your client because all those things will impair your independent, okay. So to avoid of facts, the circumstances that are so significant, that are reasonable and informed third party, okay. This one is more on the third party perception towards your independent, okay. So kadang-kadang kalau you too close dengan your client, pergi main golf dengan your client, pergi holiday dengan your client, pergi minum-minum dengan client you and so on, so people bila dia tengok you, so dia akan question sama ada you are independent or not when you conduct the audit, okay. Meaning that bila kita buat kerja-kerja audit antara auditors and client, we should have a gap lah. Okay, kita kena ada gap, okay, supaya kita tak be too close dengan our client, because this one will affect our integrity, objectivity as well our professional skepticism. Okay, kita tak boleh nak compromise all these three elements. Boleh faham ya kelas the meaning of independent of facts of mind and in appearance? I think this one you ought belajar dalam paper of first audit paper, okay. Okay, next one adalah section 410. They talk about the fees, okay. When the total fees generated from an audit client by the firm express the audit opinion represent a large proportion of the total fees of the firm, the dependence on that client and concern about losing the client create self-interest threat as well as the intimidation threat. Okay, boleh faham kelas this one?
Madam,
yes?
Madam, ada orang nak masuk.
Berapa orang?
Ada seorang nak masuk. Show.
Okay. Okay, could you please baca the first? Kalau you rely too much of your fees daripada one client, Okay, audit fees. The total fees generated from an audit client by the firm express the audit opinion, express the audit opinion, meaning that the fees from your client, for the fees from the audit service represent a large proportion of the total fees of the firm, the dependence of the client and concern about losing the client. So you just afraid that you might lose your client, okay? So kalau you risau you lose your client because you rely too much on that particular client, it is considered as the self-interest threat or the intimidation threat, okay? A self-interest threat might be created if a significant part of fees is not paid. Okay, kalau fees tu you tak bayar, client do not pay before the audit report been issued for the following year is issued, it is generally expected, okay, basically kita expect that the client should pay the audit fees before we issue the audit report. Okay, this one apa ada discuss dengan you all before this kan? Boleh baca kelas, boleh faham ke the first and second point?
Faham dia.
Sorry, so I think I dah explain kat you the first one and the second one. So when I said, now we look at the third point, when a significant part of fees due from an audit client remain unpaid for a long period, the firm shall determine, okay, kalau client do not pay your audit fees for a long time, so the overdue might be equivalent to a loan to the client. So this one akan jadi loan to the client. Kalau loan, we need to refer kepada Company Act 2016 lah, because loan to client and take loan from client is not allowed under Company Act. Okay, so if the client do not pay for two consecutive years, okay, so we need to consider not to accept the reappointment, whether is it appropriate for the firms to reappointed or continue the audit engagement. So under the situation, maybe kita sebagai auditor, we might consider not to accept the reappointment. Okay, kalau dia lama sangat tak bayar kita punya audit fees. Sebab audit fees dia tak boleh sebab because that what is the requirement under Companies Act 2016. Could you please somebody check kat I? Dalam Companies Act 2016, how much the loan from and to the client. Okay, nanti later on lah kita check dalam kita punya Companies Act. Apa tak sempat nak tengok hari tu. Okay, faham ya kelas ya? Because it's considered sebagai loan lah. Okay, boleh this page? Boleh faham?
Faham, madam.
Faham ya? Okay. So compensation and evaluation policy. This one kita akan cover detail dalam tajuk quality control later on. Quality control dalam ISQC 1, okay. This one adalah within the audit firm, okay. So you all baca dulu kelas. Okay, when an audit team members for a particular audit client is evaluated on or compensated for selling non-assurance services to that audit client, the level of self-interest threat will depend on, faham tak the first one dulu? Katakanlah bahawa you are the auditor, okay, this one adalah you punya audit team ya, audit team. So dalam audit team ni kita ada partner, kita ada manager, kita ada supervisor, ni partner, manager, supervisor and junior lah kan. Katakanlah bahawa one of the audit team, let's say the manager, ini audit team ya, manager be able to sell other services to our client. Kita dah audit satu klien kan. So bila kita buat kerja-kerja audit, kadang-kadang klien beritahu dia punya problem ataupun apa lagi yang dia nak. Okay, so kita and then we promote our services ataupun kita just explain our services, okay. So under that situation, client might purchase ataupun client might request for the audit firm to provide other services based on our recommendation. Katakanlah bahawa based on the manager recommendation, okay. So under this situation is will, because this one kita panggil sebagai non-assurance services, meaning that kita the manager managed to sell other non-assurance services to our client. So the level of self-interest threat will depend on, number one adalah the proportion of the compensation or evaluation is based on the sales of such services. Okay. Kemudian the role of the individual on that audit team, and then whether the sales of such non-assurance services influence promotion decision. Okay. So it will create self-interest threat kalau dia punya composition ataupun the proportion of the compensation or evaluation is based on the sales. Kadang-kadang bila dia jual produk, bukan produk lah kan, services, kita bayar some compensation kepada dia. Okay? Ataupun kalau katakanlah bawa audit partner lah ya, one of the audit partner manage to sell the product, so compensation, how much compensation yang kita akan bayar kepada this audit partner. Okay? And then sama ada ataupun kalau manager yang jual, sama ada we use these services ataupun dia punya ability to sell non-assurance services, kita guna dia sebagai basis untuk kita promote dia punya position, ataupun kita guna basis untuk kita bagi bonus ataupun kita bagi extra increment kepada our audit manager. Faham ya kelas ya? So kalau kita guna all these things, all this one, so it will create the self-interest threat. You faham tak maksud I? Katakanlah bahawa manager ni jual, manage to sell some of the non-assurance services. Jadi bila dia jual, so kita akan bagi more increment kepada that manager. So kita afraid later on, this manager dia banyak fokus kepada selling non-assurance services rather than fokus kepada conduct the audit on that particular client. Faham ya kelas ya? Sebab dia bukan saja manager dekat this client kan, dia akan jadi manager dekat other client at the same time. Kita tak nak nanti later on, audit manager ni dia banyak fokus kepada selling non-assurance services because they know that lagi banyak dia boleh jual non-assurance services, he will get more increment later on. Or he will get more bonus. Okay? So kita try to avoid this activity daripada berlaku. Faham ya kelas ya? Boleh
Faham, madam.
Okay.
Faham, madam.
Okay. A firm shall not evaluate or compensate a key audit partner. You tak boleh evaluate ataupun bagi compensation reward kepada audit partner based on the ability of the audit partner to sell non-assurance services to their client. So kadang-kadang bila dia jadi our client, jadi senang untuk kita jual other services kepada dia. So kadang-kadang client tu tak tahu apa yang dia nak kan. And then kita akan advise dia this and that. Okay. So kadang-kadang bila dia nak dapatkan other services, it would be, dia pun rasa senang untuk dapatkan the services from the same audit firm. Okay. So basically kalau kita nak bagi promotion tapi kita nak bagi reward kepada audit partner, we cannot give reward to audit partner based on whatever service ataupun based on his ability to sell other non-assurance services kepada client. Okay. This requirement does not preclude normal profit sharing, tetapi he still be able to get the profit sharing. Okay, but not in term of other reward. Profit sharing tu depending kepada partners punya agreement lah. Okay, faham ya kelas ya? Boleh ya? Okay, gift and hospitality. Gift and hospitality kita dah discuss detail dalam section 340. Okay. Okay, next one kita tengok litigation. Actual and threatened litigation. Factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of such threat include material litigation, meaning that the client try to take action against the auditor. The auditor ni dia ada dua ya, satu adalah members of the audit team ataupun CPA. Dia boleh ambil kepada members. Sorry kelas. Okay, maybe the client try to take legal action against the audit team. Bukan audit team ya, members, okay? Seorang je, okay? Ataupun kepada audit firm. Okay, so such threat include the materiality of the litigation. Kita nak tengok sama ada jumlah litigation later on kalau dia take legal action against us, how much is the value of that litigation, okay? So whether the litigation relate to the prior audit engagement. Kadang-kadang benda tu dah berlaku a few years, barulah dia nak take the legal actions, okay? So if the litigation involve the audit team members, for the example, so the best thing that we need to do adalah we might eliminate such self-interest threat and intimidation threat by removing the individual from the audit team. Okay, kalau dia nak ambil action against kepada one of the audit members, so kita nak avoid self-interest threat dan kita nak avoid ataupun kita try to reduce the intimidation threat. Okay, so what we do adalah kita akan remove these members daripada our team. Okay, kita akan keluarkan dia dan kita akan masukkan members yang baru to conduct the audit. Okay, it's very simple lah. Okay, so next one adalah section 510 adalah financial interest. Financial interest, kita ada two types of financial interest. Kita ada direct financial interest as well as indirect financial interest. Financial interest ni dia ada banyak situation ya. Satu adalah by the firm. Audit firm tu ada financial interest. The second one adalah the financial interest daripada audit team members. Okay, katakanlah bahawa dalam audit team tu maybe partner, manager ataupun supervisor ada financial interest. Boleh ya kelas ya? Okay. The third one ni normally kalau involve immediate families lah. Okay. The third one adalah any other partner in the office in which an engagement partner practice in connections with the audit engagement or any of that other partner's immediate family. Okay, here adalah the third situation adalah the client partner A yang handle tetapi partner B ada financial interest over that client. Okay, the third one adalah any other partner or managerial employee or providing non-audit services. Okay, partner A audit the client, partner B involved in providing other services. And partner B has the financial interest. So there are four situations. Macam mana kita kata the company might have financial interest over the client. Ini company, ini one of the audit team, ini ada audit partner, ini ada audit partner tetapi the other audit partner provide non-assurance services to the client. Faham ya kelas ya? So the factors that are relevant, this one you all baca, you all nanti all later on, you all diam-diam, you all baca balik ya. The factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of self-interest threat created by holding a financial interest in the audit client include the role of individual holding the financial interest, whether the financial interest is direct ataupun not indirect, the materiality of the financial interest. Okay. So kalau nak tengok sama ada threat ke tak, kita nak tengok sama ada the role of individual holding the financial interest tu dia ada significant influence or not. Okay, the second one kita nak tengok sama ada the financial interest is direct or indirect. Direct tu meaning that orang tu sendiri macam partner tu yang ada financial interest. Okay, kalau indirect meaning that dia punya immediate family yang ada financial interest. Okay, so kita tengok juga sama ada the materiality of the financial interest. Kalau kat sini kita kena tengok the materiality of the financial interest kepada audit firm. Okay, and dalam kes 2, 3 dan 4 kita akan tengok the materiality of the financial interest to the individual person. Okay. Okay, next one dalam section 511 dia mention about loan and guarantee. Baca dulu kelas loan and guarantee. Okay, bukan saja audit team member ya, tetapi dia punya individual immediate family ya. Bukan saja audit team tetapi dia punya family members. Family meaning that dia punya immediate family. Immediate maksudnya adalah spouse and the kids lah ya. Shall not make or guarantee a loan to an audit client unless the loan or guarantee is immaterial. In material, I think the amount should not be more than 10,000. Nanti I double check ya, sebab this one kita kena tengok dalam Company Act, okay? Sama ada benda tu material or not material, okay? So the firm, the audit firm of the individual making the loan or guarantee as well as the client. Basically, we are not supposed to give loan to our client and the client pun tak boleh bagi loan kepada kita lah. Tetapi macam I cakap tadi lah, normally macam mana auditor tu bagi loan kepada client adalah undue audit fees. Kadang-kadang bukanlah you bagi duit kat dia sebagai loan kan. Tetapi bila dia tak bayar your audit fees, okay, so the audit fees be considered sebagai loan to your client. Okay, so okay, sama juga kita sebagai auditor, we also cannot take loan daripada our client unless the loan or guarantee is made under normal lending procedures, term and condition. Unless katakanlah bahawa our client adalah one of dia punya activity adalah giving loan kepada outsiders. For example like bank ataupun financial institution. Katakanlah bahawa you audit Maybank and then you nak dapatkan loan daripada Maybank. Itu tak ada masalah because Maybank dia punya main activity adalah providing loan kepada public. Okay? Tetapi apa yang penting adalah the term and condition sama. You should not get any special privilege. Faham ya kelas ya? Okay, faham?
Faham,
Jangan
Madam.
pula orang bagi loan pada orang lain 4% interest, kat you dia bagi 2% interest. Itu you dah, kita kena kata you dah dapat special privilege, okay? Ataupun katakanlah bahawa you audit your client tu involved in dalam motor industry. Okay, kemudian you dapatkan loan daripada your client. That one is not allowed. Because your client dalam motor industry, giving loan to others is not part of dia punya normal business. Okay? Boleh ya? Okay, next one. This soalan keluar last semester, business relationship. Okay? So in determining whether such a relationship is material to an individual, the combined net worth of the individual and the individual immediate family members may be taken into consideration. This one we mentioned about person, okay? So kita tengok sama ada that one is material or not. Kita tengok kepada you punya net worth of the individual. How much asset that you have, okay? Example of close business relationship arising from a commercial relationship or common financial interest. This one adalah the example of the business relationship. For the example, like having financial interest in the joint venture with either the client or the controlling owner, director, officer or other individual who perform senior managerial activity for that client. Bukan saja you ada joint venture dengan client, tetapi you juga ada joint venture dengan directors of the client. Katakan bawah ini your client ya. Your client ada director ataupun officer. Okay, director ataupun officer ataupun they are the owner. Katakanlah bahawa kalau partnership dia owner lah kan. Okay. And then this director or officer ada other business. Okay, katakanlah bahawa company X. Okay. So you buat joint venture dengan untuk this company, to form this company X. Ni kita panggil sebagai this one adalah business relationship. Okay, this one sepatutnya you tak boleh ada any close business relationship with your client. Dia bukan dekat your client tetapi dekat other company. Okay, that one adalah joint venture between you and the directors of the company. Okay. The second one adalah arrangement to combine one or more services or product of the firm or network firm with one or more services or product of the client to market the package with reference to both party. Okay. For the example, this one adalah audit firm. This okay. Ini adalah audit firm. Ini adalah client. Okay. So apa yang kita buat adalah the audit firm akan keluarkan something. Let's say audit firm produce accounting package, okay? Okay, and then the client akan promote this accounting package. Okay, ataupun your client akan sell that accounting package. Okay, faham ikhlas ya? So that one also part of the business relationship. Okay, okay. The third one adalah distribution or marketing arrangement under which the firm or a networking firm distributor ni. Okay, sama lah juga kan? For example, like say you dengan your client produce something ataupun you produce something and then the client distribute your product. Okay, that one is also part of the business relationship. Okay. Okay, next one adalah personal relationship. It will create self-interest. Kalau personal relationship, normally dia akan create self-interest threat ataupun familiarity threat ataupun intimidation threat. Okay, when an immediate family members of the audit team members is an employee or in the position yang you ada significant influence over the client financial position. Okay, kalau katakanlah bahawa you ada any relationship dengan your punya immediate family involved in the client, dekat client punya position, and then dia ada significant influence. Okay, let's say this one adalah your client, this one adalah audit firm, client, and then let's say your spouse ataupun your son ataupun you punya immediate family, your uncle ke apa ke, adalah directors of this company. Okay, so this one kita panggil sebagai family or blood relationship. Basically it is not allowed. Okay, because kenapa? Sebab dia ada significant influence. Tetapi katakanlah bahawa you are the auditors of this client, and then let's say katakanlah bahawa anak buah you ataupun anak you later on join this client, this company sebagai just pegang position yang lower level. For example, like engineer ataupun sebagai sales representative. Okay, so kat sini sebab since dia tak ada significant influence, that one should be okay. Okay, tetapi kalau dia ada significant influence meaning that they are the one involved in decision making ataupun they are the one involved in set the policy, the company policy. Okay, so that one we call it as the significant influence. Ataupun they are the one yang involved in financial accounting and financial matters. Okay, that one also we call have the significant influence over the company. Under that situation, it is not allowed. Okay, so factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of such threat include, okay, the individual responsibility on the audit team, the role of the family members. Kita tengok dua-dua ya. Satu adalah the responsibility of the individual dalam the audit team. Kalau you sebagai audit manager ataupun you sebagai audit partner, that one kita panggil ada close relationship lah. Tetapi kalau you dekat audit team ni, you sebagai audit junior saja, so that one should be okay, tak ada masalah because you tak boleh influence the audit partner. Tetapi kalau manager in the position, dia akan sit together dengan audit partner to discuss about the type of audit report to be issued. Dalam that situation, is not allowed. Okay, this one adalah on audit team punya part, this one adalah on clients punya part. Okay, boleh faham kelas ya? So kita kena tengok both side. Audit team punya side as well as you punya family members punya position in that in the office. Okay, sama ada dia ada significant influence or not. Okay, next one adalah an individual shall not participate as an audit team members when any of the individual immediate family is the directors of the officer. Okay, kalau katakanlah bahawa you punya immediate family, directors of the officer, employees in the position who has significant influence ataupun was in the position during any period covered by the engagement or the financial statement. This one 12 months ya. Okay, this one you faham ke kelas? This part?
Faham,
You
madam.
faham ya? This one adalah katakanlah bahawa you punya family members priorly for the last 12 months dia adalah accountant ataupun CFO ataupun COO ataupun involved in any financial matters of that client, of the company, okay, for the past 12 months. Okay, under that situation juga, you should not participate in auditing that client. Boleh faham kelas ya? Okay, go slowly. Okay, next one adalah recent service with the audit client. Okay, the audit team shall not include an individual who, during period covered by the audit report, have served as a director or officer of the audit client. Okay, dia sama juga dengan tadi lah ya. Tadi, katakanlah, no sorry. Katakanlah bahawa this one adalah, you all boleh faham tak? Saya ada explain ke this one ya. Katakanlah bahawa dia dah resign daripada klien tu, dia join audit team, kemudian you tak boleh guna dia to audit that client. Okay, because dia dah pernah jadi director or officer of that client for the last, untuk dalam 12 bulan sebelum tu. Okay, so was an employee in the position who has significant influence over the preparation. Okay, bukan saja of directors atau officer, tetapi kalau dia involved in any accounts and finance department, then dia ada significant influence. Okay, this one we need to wait at least 12 months. Okay, after 12 months, barulah kita boleh hantar this individu to audit that client. Sebenarnya dia kadang-kadang benda yang sama ya, dia ulang-ulang, tapi dia akan explain further. Okay. Next one adalah kenapa kita panggil dia create the threat adalah maybe kalau you hantar dia the same person, maybe dia akan audit apa yang dia dah buat. Okay, so the factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of such threat adalah kita kena tengok dia punya position dekat that client, the length of time since individual left the company, 12 months ya sepatutnya ya, the role of the audit team members. Okay, serving as a director or officer of an audit client, a partner or employee of the firm shall not serve as the director. Bila you audit that client, you tak boleh jadi director ataupun officer of the client. Okay, this one is very clear lah kan. Okay, a partner or employee of the firm or network firm shall not serve as company secretary. You also cannot serve as company secretary of your audit firm unless under this certain situation. Okay, this practice is especially permitted under local law. Okay, management makes all the relevant decision. Walaupun you act as company secretary, tetapi you do not involve in decision making. Management management yang buat all the decision. Okay, the duties and activity performed are limited to those of routine. And then you buat kerja-kerja sebagai company secretary on the routine secretarial work. Okay, for example, like prepare minutes, maintain statutory return. Under this situation, it is allowed. Okay, boleh ke kelas ya? Ini you dah belajar dalam tajuk company secretary kan?
Boleh dah.
Boleh ya. Employment with an audit client. This one, aku kadang-kadang dah lupa banyak sangat kan. Banyak lagi kita nak pergi ni. Some of it you boleh baca sendiri kot. Employment with an audit client, I think this one is not allowed. Okay. I think dua benda yang sama kot ya. So basically employment with an audit client is not allowed. Okay. Especially kalau you ada significant influence. Okay. Loan association of personnel including partner rotation with the client. So this one adalah kita nak maintain audit quality and then kita cuba to reducekan familiarity. Okay, so what we do adalah we need to rotate our audit team. So I recommend that we need to do the rotation every 3 to 5 years. Okay, how to do the rotation? We change the role of individual. Kita kena ada appropriate review. Katakanlah bahawa dia dah lama sangat audit that client. So for that particular person, kita kena buat appropriate review. Kemudian kita kena buat regular independent internal or external quality review. This one we need to do the peer review. Okay. Okay, provision of non-assurance services. This one kita akan ada satu topik, okay? Kita ada topik lain lagi, providing other non-assurance services to our client, okay? So section 600, this one I tak sure sama ada I nak, kalau previously I tak cover dengan student sebab I will cover dalam next topic. Okay, this one, never mind, kita just tengok dulu ya kelas ya. This one, non-assurance services. Non-assurance services meaning that other services that we provide to our client. Okay. For the example, like other non-assurance services that we provide to our client adalah consultancy services, due diligence services. Okay. Kemudian tax services, accounting services, consultancy services. Okay. So those are other services that we provide to our client. Okay. So kita akan tengok one by one. Subsection 610 adalah accounting and bookkeeping services. You baca dulu kelas ya. Okay, normally kalau bookkeeping services do not usually create a track as long as the client in the responsibility for making the decision in preparing the financial statement. Untuk accounting and bookkeeping services, normally tak ada masalah sangat for the big audit firm. Sebab big audit firm kita ada separate person, okay? Kita ada audit department as well as accounting and bookkeeping department. Normally the audit firm akan hantar different person ataupun different team to prepare ataupun to help client preparing the financial statement and another team untuk audit that financial statement. So under that situation tak ada masalah sangat lah, okay? Tetapi the problem arise untuk small audit firm because small audit firm normally because they have limited number of staff, okay? There might be a situation where you akan hantar orang yang sama to provide accounting and bookkeeping services and maybe the same person juga akan audit the financial statement of that client, okay? So kalau you provide accounting services, kemudian you juga audit that client, that one tu dah involved dalam that one we call it as the self-review track. Okay? You all baca dulu kelas ya this one. Okay, basically it's prohibit ya, it's not allowed basically ya. Normally untuk big audit firm tak ada masalah, but small audit firm they might have the problem. Okay. Okay, baca this one continue. Okay, client might request technical assistance on matters such as resolving account reconciliation problem or analyzing and accumulating information for regular reporting. In addition, the client might request technical advice on accounting issues such as the conversion of existing financial statement from one financial reporting framework to another. Okay, the example comply group accounting policy, transitioning to a different financial reporting framework. Okay. So no threat if either the firm assume the management responsibility for the client. Basically kalau you nak provide all these services, because kita bagi advice kepada client kan, basically there is no threat kalau management yang make the decision. Okay. Accounting and bookkeeping services are the routine or mechanical in nature, required little or non-professional judgment. Okay. Okay, tax services. Tax services, if you provide tax services, it may create self-review track or advocacy track. Okay. Tetapi kalau for normal one tak ada masalah ya. Tetapi kalau preparing calculation of current and deferred tax of the audit client for the purpose of preparing accounting policy, it will create the self-review track. Okay. Tetapi kalau providing tax return preparation sebenarnya tak ada masalah lah. Okay. Tetapi dia macam bila kita cover tajuk self review threat hari tu kan, katakanlah bahawa satu tim akan buat tax calculation and that calculation akan digunakan in preparing the financial statement. Okay. So that under that situation is will create the self review threat. Okay. Okay, example of action that might be safeguard to address such a self-review threat when the audit client is not a public list, is not the PIE, public interest entity, include using professional who are not audit team to perform the audit. So apa yang you kena buat adalah kita kena use other professional, tetapi benda ni sebenarnya tak ada masalah kalau for big audit firm ya. So big audit firm pun dia ada dia punya tax department. So kalau tax department tu yang provide the service, it should be no problem, okay? Tetapi again, walaupun tax department to provide the service, again is also can create the self-review threat. So you sebagai auditor, kita kena take the safeguard lah macam how to reduce the threat, okay? Okay, yang lain you boleh baca kelas ya. That one kita akan pergi detail later on dalam tajuk non-assurance services, okay? Next one adalah auditor also may provide internal audit services to our client, okay? So bila kita provide internal audit services to our client, for the example like we design system kepada client, so it will create the self-review threat. Unless the auditor does not assume management responsibility lah, meaning that bila kita boleh bagi advice saja kepada our client, normally bila kita bagi advice kepada client, tapi bila kita design something kepada our client, kita akan bagi a few alternative. So the client choose which alternative ataupun which one. Okay, so kita tak boleh nak influence client to make the decision to choose alternative A, B, C, D. Kita bagi dia je alternative A, B, C, D and let them choose we want, okay? Which one. So, kita tak boleh influence dia. Okay, kita dah bagi dia banyak-banyak alternatif dan kita influence dia. Okay, you better take alternative C. Okay, so tak boleh, okay? So, because kalau you yang influence dia to make the decision, so it will create the self-review threat, okay? So this one adalah the example of the internal audit services, okay? Factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of such review threat adalah these are the factors to determine sama ada it will create self-review threat or not. The materiality, the risk misstatement, okay, how much you akan rely on that system later on, okay, the degree of reliance that the audit team will place on the word of the internal audit service. How much you akan rely kepada internal audit service later on. Okay, kalau you tak rely too much, so it will reduce the self-review threat. Kalau you rely too much kepada apa yang internal auditor akan buat later on, so it will create the self-review threat. Okay. Okay, this one adalah auditor shall not provide internal audit services to an audit client that is PIE, public interest entity, if the service relate to, untuk PIE, you tak boleh provide internal audit services on this following. Untuk PIE saja ya. PIE adalah public interest entity. Public interest entity adalah public listed company lah. Okay, untuk private company tak ada masalah. Okay, faham ya kelasnya apa beza PIE dengan private company?
Faham.
Boleh ya. Okay, if the service relate to a significant part of the internal control over financial reporting, you are not supposed to involve ataupun you are not supposed to design any internal control system kepada klien yang melibatkan accounts and finance department. Tetapi kalau nak buat untuk sales, untuk payroll, untuk inventory, tak ada masalah ya. Tetapi not for the account and finance department lah. Okay, because later on, because they are the one yang akan prepare the financial statement of the company, okay. Kemudian financial accounting system that generate information that individual or in aggregate, you also cannot design, you also cannot provide financial accounting system, develop the financial accounting system kepada our client. Okay, because later on dia akan guna all this one to prepare the financial statement. Okay. Kemudian the amount or disclosure that are individual or in the aggregate material to the financial statement. Okay, and then you are not supposed to provide internal internal audit services kepada your client kalau benda tu adalah too significant. For example, katakanlah bahawa untuk e-commerce kan, e-commerce kemudian mana nak kata internal audit ya. Okay, katakanlah bahawa you provide internal audit services untuk e-commerce and then you provide bahagian on IT. Kalau e-commerce industry, IT adalah dia punya main activity. Okay, so you juga provide internal audit services. Okay, so this one is will create the self-review track. Okay, boleh ya kelas ya? Okay, next one adalah information technology services. Okay, this one pun pernah keluar dalam soalan exam where you provide IT services to your client. Okay, when you provide IT services to your client, it will create the self-review track unless the auditor does not assume management responsibility. Okay, the example of the IT services adalah designing or implementing IT system that are unrelated to internal control over financial reporting. Ni dia tak relate dengan financial control over tak relate dengan internal control over financial reporting. Okay. Second one adalah design or implementing IT system that do not generate information forming a significant part of the accounting record. This one dia tak melibatkan accounting. Okay. The third one adalah implementing of the shelf accounting or financial information reporting software that was not developed by the firm or networking firm if the customers required to meet the client's need is not significant. Okay. Number 4 adalah evaluating and making recommendation. Kadang-kadang you bagi recommendation on the IT system design, implemented or operated by one service provider or the client. Okay. Factors to consider in evaluating the level of self-review threat adalah the nature of the service, the nature of IT services, the degree of reliance. Okay, how much you akan rely on that IT system later on when we conduct the audit. Okay. Use professionals who are not the audit team members to safeguard against the self-review threat. Kalau kita nak provide service ni, kita kena another team member yang akan provide those services. Okay, so by doing that it will reduce the self-review threat. Okay, so the firm shall not provide IT system to an audit client that is public PIE. Sama juga, you tak boleh provide IT services to your audit client that is PIE if the service involve designing or implementing IT system untuk dua item ni. Internal control untuk financial reporting ataupun mana-mana sistem yang akan generate information and that information will be used to prepare the financial statement later on. Boleh faham kelas? Ini kan walaupun dia dibuat oleh other team, okay, ataupun oleh IT department, okay, it's not allowed, okay, untuk PIE. Okay, nanti you baca, you duduk perlahan-lahan baca satu-satu ya. Sebab dia kalau untuk non-PIE, kadang-kadang under certain situation is allowed, okay, tetapi not untuk certain services, okay, is not allowed untuk you bagi that services kepada PIE ya. Especially untuk internal audit department, internal audit services as well as IT services, okay. Okay, and then untuk tax services juga ya. Untuk tax services untuk PIE pun under certain situation ataupun under certain circumstances, we are not allowed to provide those services to PIE, client. Okay. Dia tiga-tiga lah. Tax, internal tax, internal audit, and last one adalah IT services. Okay. Okay, kelas boleh ni ke? This one dia macam dia banyak elements lah sikit kat sini ya. So you kena duduk dan baca slowly dan you boleh start. Okay, from today onwards you dah boleh start tengok soalan-soalan past years and then try to understand it. Walaupun you tak buat lagi tak apa, at least you tengok macam how's the question look like. Okay. Tengok question number 1, question number 2 partially, and then question number 5, okay? So, do you have any question class other than this? Ni? Ada soalan tak?
So far.
Saya nak habiskan hari ni kalau tak ada. So far okay?
Okay, madam.
If a section, okay? Nanti lepas ni I will share some of the diagram dengan you all, okay? So you boleh tengok that diagram. Okay, do you have any question, class?